We've got the very latest on Roki Sasaki. When will we know what team he signed with? When will he announce? We'll talk everything we know right now about Roki Sasaki. Also, Korean infielder Hyeseong Kim, he spoke to the media in Korea and revealed why he chose the Dodgers. We have dates for spring training. We've got announcements on the TV schedule for 2024, 2025. Actually, baseball season is in the air. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Roy, the parade. We got it, parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series.
Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball. Right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by dodgersnation.com, the _1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, let me know, what are your thoughts on Roki Sasaki right now? Are you just waiting? Are you sick of waiting? Where do you think he's going to sign? Of course, every episode begins with the Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. And I asked you guys over on the X, how do you think that Roki Sasaki's career will pan out? And right now, 24% of you say Hall of Fame, 65% of you say All-Star, 8% say average, and 3% say bust. So, seems like most people feel like he's got that all-star potential. Some feel like he has that Hall of Fame potential. I'm here to tell you that his ceiling is as high as any pitching prospect in a long, long time. If things work out for Roki Sasaki, he's going to win multiple Cy Youngs. He's going to be a game 1 or 2 starter for a team. The question is, where is he going to sign and when is he going to sign? So yesterday we talked about the new international signing bonus pool and everything, the new window that has opened up on January 15th. And with that new window, what we know now is he's got days to decide where he's ultimately going to sign. And with this new 2025 international signing period that starts today, he can sign now until Thursday, January 23rd. That's how long he has to reach a deal with whatever team he's going to ultimately sign with, or he's going to be going back to the Chivalote Marines. We know that is not going to happen. We also know that the finalists are 3 teams: the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Toronto Blue Jays. We also know that the Dodgers were set to have their second meeting yesterday, and they were going to get the final meeting. Now, we don't know exactly the details of where that meeting took place. It remains to be seen. Was it at Dodger Stadium? There is a lot of construction right now. Was it somewhere else? His agent, Joel Wolf, is located in Los Angeles. Which players were involved? You have to imagine that they were out in force with guys like Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Will Smith, Dave Roberts, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. We know that this organization is all in. Andrew Friedman has already said that that's the top priority, is to go and bring in a guy that, I'll say it again, I've said it a ton of times, that this is one of the most unique situations, because you have a guy that could easily get $300+ million if he was a traditional free agent. Instead, you could get him for less than $10 million. Like I said, you are getting a Lamborghini for the price of a Nissan Altima, and then also you are continuing to add to your rotation. Think about this. Think about how insane this is. You could potentially be adding Roki Sasaki to a rotation that already includes Tyler Glasnow, surefire ace. When he's right, takes a backseat to no one when it comes to stuff. Shohei Ohtani, coming off his second Tommy John surgery, still has to make his way back, still has to pitch innings to get that two-way status back. But you saw what Shohei does on the mound when he's right. 99, 100-mile-per-hour fastball, devastating sweeper, devastating splitter, certainly Cy Young caliber stuff. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, ace. Blake Snell might be nastier than any of them. Blake Snell, nastier than the gas station bathroom when he is right. He might be better than all of them on his best day. That's how nasty Blake Snell is. By the way, Blake Snell clapped back. He owned a Giants fan, already a Dodgers legend, not even pitching in one game as Blake Snell. I want to talk about that later in our DFA of the day. But we could be talking about a situation where Roki Sasaki might even not even pitch in the NLDS. Might pitch out of the bullpen or some other way because of how much talent that this organization has. Now, what I've heard on Roki Sasaki is, one, that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is very important in this process. That Yoshinobu Yamamoto is crucial in the Dodgers landing Roki Sasaki. And I think for a lot of reasons. Well, one, as great as Shohei Ohtani is, we know that him, Yu Darvish, they're the leaders of that Team Japan squad that won the WBC. I'll never forget Shohei Ohtani's speech firing up his teammates saying, hey, let's not idolize these guys. Let's not idolize Team USA. Let's go out and beat these guys. I think that's really what led to them winning that game. Shohei Ohtani, he's also a hitter. He's also an MVP hitter. Does he have all the time to fully mentor Roki Sasaki? I'm sure that you're going to have a lot of interactions and that he's going to take him under his wing as much as possible. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's not going to be hitting, right? I mean, he's a pitcher solely by trade. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto embracing a Roki Sasaki and taking him under his wing, I think is going to have a major impact because Shohei, he transitioned to the show 7 years ago. Yamamoto did it last year. So it's, I think, a lot easier to try to get someone to really embrace your new situation. Hey, where do I live? Where do I hang out? Where do I train at? Where are all these little details in place? That's easier when it's all fresh and new on your mind. Also, Joel Wolf is Yamamoto's agent and he's Roki Sasaki's agent. There's a lot of familiarity there. I've also heard that the Dodgers have almost been operating with the confidence and the optimism that they're going to sign Roki Sasaki. If you've watched the show for a couple years, I mean, when I have thrown out there Blake Snell and Glasnow and Yamamoto and Ohtani, some of these guys, a lot of the same guys that have really been big cornerstones of this organization already. Kind of some of the things I'm hearing about from those same guys that talked to me about those guys is that they're very, very confident in their chances of getting Roki Sasaki. Having said that, I know that there's a lot of rumors out there. You got the hashtag Trust Me Bros sources. Either they're fake profile pics, the Ken Rosenthal's, the Buster Phonies, the Jet Passon, not Jeff, Jet with 2 T's. All those fake accounts are out there. They're throwing pasta at the wall, hoping that they guessed right. Look, the truth is, he's a mysterious guy in Roki Sasaki. And for as much confidence for the people that I trust that think that he's going to sign with the Dodgers ultimately, let's not forget that Shohei Ohtani shocked the world by picking the Angels. That Shohei Ohtani said that it was something in his gut that told him to pick the Angels. So for me, of course, I trust what I hear from people for sure. We know that the Dodgers just in general, there's just so many things that make perfect sense for Roki Sasaki. We'll list them off here. I got another list I cooked up last night because I couldn't sleep thinking about this. And all that's true, but the truth is that look, at people that are saying that, okay, insiders are just parroting takes and this and that. Look, there is things that I think are being the purveying wisdom towards certain players is certainly translating in this one too. I do think that people are hearing certain things. And look, I mean, some people think the Padres have a really good shot. It wouldn't absolutely shock me. It would surprise me though. And it really all comes down to, at the end of the day, where does Roki Sasaki feel most comfortable? Where does he think is going to turn him into the best pitcher possibly? Now, as far as the international bonus pool money, you got the Padres and the Blue Jays. They can both offer Roki Sasaki as of right now, a maximum of $6.26 million. The Dodgers at $5.15 million. And teams can acquire an additional 60%, and that could take what the Dodgers could offer Roki Sasaki all the way up to over $8 million, and the Padres and the Blue Jays over $10 million. So I think based on what we heard from his agent when we were in Dallas, I was standing right in front of his agent, Joel Wolf, and he made it very, very clear that he was going to make it clear to Roki Sasaki. Joel Wolf, his agent, said, I'm going to tell Roki Sasaki, don't make a decision based on a couple million. Don't make a decision based on money at the margin. So I don't think that monetarily it's going to be the biggest difference. I will say, though, maybe there is a world where the Dodgers getting more money to show Roki just how much they want him could mean something. I'm not saying that's nothing, right? $2 million is $2 million, right? So I definitely think there is a little bit something there. And there was a rumor floating around yesterday from Fangraphs, Eric Longenhagen, great writer for Fangraphs. Love me some Fangraphs. Eric Longenhagen said that he heard a rumor that the Dodgers were lining up a trade to gain an additional $3 million in slot money for Roki Sasaki, and they were doing it by trading Josue DePaula. So that is the Dodgers' number 2 overall prospect, someone that the organization's very high on, someone that the Dodgers have been asked about for a long, long time in trades, in past deals for last couple seasons. Is okay, DePaula is the high upside guy, right? He's the high ceiling guy. He's the one who has the potential to be an all-star hitter. I told you, Tim Rogers has seen Juan Soto in him. I mean, that's extremely high praise. But it remains to be seen. Will the Dodgers go out there, trade away assets, and will they go out there and try to do whatever it takes to get every single penny to add funds for him? I mean, are they flipping the couches, right? Are they flipping the cushions off the couches to see if they can get more for him? And they've already done that. I mean, look, they've already gone out there and cost themselves some international prospects from the 2025 class. You were supposed to have Daryl Morrell and Orlando Patino. Those were 2 prospects that they were certainly high on, of course, at one time, and that didn't transpire because they tried to get as much money. And those guys, I mean, especially Morrell, he was able to get almost double of what he was going to get when he ultimately signed with another team. So I think right now it's very process oriented. I do think there is a little bit of this dog and pony show element to this, in that, hey, like I said yesterday, when everyone tells you you're going to do something, you don't want to just do it, right? And I think if you're Joel Wolf, you want to make sure you're giving the Padres the opportunity. You want to make sure you're giving the Blue Jays the opportunity. And like I said yesterday, this does feel almost like episode of The Bachelor, where it's going to be AJ Preller and Andrew Friedman on some really nice scenic cliff somewhere, and Roki Sasaki has to give one of them a rose, and that's who's going to sign with. It does feel a little like that, but I think that the truth is he made a decision to come here, and that decision was based mainly on going to an organization that's going to help him win, help him become the best pitcher that he can be. And look, it's within his free agency to go and do that. Now, I will say just some of the details for the Padres meeting. They brought Joe Musgrove, Manny Machado. They were there. Just optics level, what can the Padres do from a meeting standpoint, you Darvish, that the Dodgers can't? I mean, we talked about this yesterday. I just can imagine Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Doc, Andrew Friedman, the World Series trophy. It's got to be a much more impressive meeting, considering that they can essentially guarantee him a postseason opportunity for all 6 of the years that he's going to be controllable. I like the Dodgers meeting more than I like the Padres meeting. It's like the Padres, they brought out Fat Joe, the Dodgers brought out Ice Cube, right? They had the better performance in that meeting. You have to believe that. I mean, Dodgers brought out Eric Gagne. They brought out Trevor Hoffman, which honestly is that's split hairs there, because Trevor Hoffman is a legend. But I'll take Pete Gagne. I'll take Pete Gagne over Trevor Hoffman, and that's a credit to the Padres organization. It really is to think that they're this far in this mix to go out there and get him. But because the Dodgers, they have so much going in their favor. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I'll list a couple more things. If I was in the room, a lot of you guys said, hey, get D-Mac in the room with Roki Sasaki. What would he say? I would tell Roki, take the blue pill and join the Dodgers. First thing I would say is, hey, see this guy right next to me? See this guy that just went 50-50? Shohei Ohtani? See the guy that's the biggest star in the sport? Why don't you ask him what it was like to be the best player in a underperforming organization? I'm not saying that Shohei regrets his decision to sign with the Angels, because I think he learned a lot there. I think that it was a pretty comfortable situation for him to do what hadn't been done in this sport for a long time, and that is pitch at an ace level and hit at an MVP level. But his goal was always to win. And if it's about winning, Shohei Ohtani will probably tell you that, hey, I probably would have liked to surround myself with more talent. Like I always said, it was the Bugatti at the trailer park meme, and the 2 Bugattis were Trout and Shohei parked at the trailer park, but you didn't have much else. And you didn't have an organization that was competing for titles. He didn't sniff the postseason. Another thing I would say to Roki is, you can either win with us or you can watch us win. You make the decision. Because not only would you be potentially facing us, you'd be facing us more than any other team would, because you could be signing with a team in this division. Now, the Blue Jays are out there. I do think it's a Padres-Dodgers race at the end of the day. Do you want to be facing this Dodgers team for the next 6 years when they are as invested and all in as any team in professional sports, that they are committed to the golden age of Dodger baseball, to adding multiple titles, to doing something special that hasn't been done in a long time, and that is win multiple World Series titles, going back-to-back for the first time since 2000. So win with us or watch us win. The roster is stacked. They're all in. They have the ownership group that's going to spend big for the next decade. The Padres ownership group, they're headed towards a messy litigation with their own family members. Had that work out when the Dodgers had that with Frank Rupt, with Mr. Frank McCourt, who was sweating bullets just to pay Dodgers players and hoping those checks did not bounce. So you got the organization that's going to spend more. You have an organization that has good contracts, right? What organization has the bad contracts? Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado towards the end. And then the Blue Jays haven't signed any of their own players, haven't signed anyone. So are you going to be surrounded with talent? And then look at the TV deal. The TV deal for the I'm like, if I'm Roki, I'd be like, hey, we're going to be on TV. What network would we be on? Because the Dodgers have an $8.25 billion TV deal that's one of the best in all of professional sports. That is a major reason why they're able to operate at the highest level financially. So when it comes to which organization is more buttoned up to guarantee surrounding yourself with talent and paying you one day. Because look, if you say that you want to be the best pitcher in the world gets best pitcher in the world type of money. And if you want that kind of money and have that team be able to pay players around you that help you compete, hey, that's the Dodgers. What I say last season, if you want to contend, you have to spend. Can you guarantee the Padres are going to spend at the Dodgers level? Sure. Big contracts for the market size they are. Sure. Healthy as far as attendance goes. But TV deal, not the Dodgers, not the market. I think the answer, this is a knockout blow. This is a balling up your fist by the Dodgers, cold cocking a haymaker to the Padres, and they're tasting their own blood on that one. It's a knockout, not even close. Other thing too, the Dodgers rotation is made for you. It is made for you. I mean, a 6-man rotation, that's where you're comfortable. That's where you're used to. And then on top of that, you don't have to be the guy. You have to be a guy that's going to have the opportunity to do whatever you want, right? I mean, if injuries happen, you bump up in the rotation. But for the Padres, you have to be the guy sooner than you would have to be for the Dodgers. Maybe the Dodgers, if you sign Roki Sasaki, you don't even rush him in to start the season. Maybe he stays in Arizona for a little longer. Gets used to the ball. It's a little smaller, less tacky. Mound, the feel, the living situation. All these things are factors. So the developmental step too for the Dodgers as well. I think that's a major one too. I mean, for me, this feels like he is if we're talking college football national championship is on Monday, Ohio State, Notre Dame. This feels like we're peak Alabama with Nick Saban. Why wouldn't you go to Alabama with Nick Saban? You're going to win a national championship. You're going to get drafted and you are going to get paid. This is like a 5-star recruit, a number 1 recruit that should go to Alabama, but for some reason, I don't know, John picks Ole Miss. I mean, what would it be here? I mean, Nick Saban, Alabama is what the Dodgers are right now, right? You got to go with the best. I mean, you look at Nick Saban, 133 draft picks, and his teams had more players drafted since anyone that he took over. Those players signed contracts over $2 billion. The Dodgers have a chance to be Nick Saban, Alabama. Don't go to Ole Miss, right? Go with the winners if you are Roki Sasaki. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it makes all sense in the world, but at the end of the day, it is his decision, and we are going to find out hopefully sooner than later, man. I feel like Judge Smales in Caddyshack. Well, we're waiting, right? I mean, it feels like it's going to be a long wait. But I will say, too, last thing on this point, Shohei Ohtani, nothing will ever top that contract, right? That's the best contract potentially in professional sports history. You delivered a World Series championship, and you are profiting. You are literally profiting. It is not we're signing into this. No, that was an investment that they are profiting off of. It's going to go down as the best contract in the history of professional sports, in my opinion. But to me, this would be the second most satisfying contract that the Dodgers have ever signed. And I'll tell you why. It's because money wasn't the factor. Everyone out there, the Dodgers, they buy their team. The Dodgers buy their team. The Dodgers, they pay for their roster just so they could choke in the postseason. Now it's the Dodgers are ruining baseball. And I think this would be the ultimate compliment to an organization that has built the best organization in the sport. They are the gold standard now. And it would say, oh, we didn't outbid anyone. We didn't outbid anyone. He just wanted to be here. He wanted to be here because he wanted to compete for titles on an annual basis. He wanted to be at his best as a pitcher, cares about his legacy, wants to be a part of a team that is a global sensation. So I think this would be the most satisfying contract that the Dodgers have ever signed someone to outside of Shohei Ohtani, at least in the modern era. But let's go down below in the comments section. Thoughts on Roki Watch? Clearly, I have a lot of them, but I know you guys too, and I want to hear you guys fire away down below in the comment section. Martin Troop, DMAC sounds like you're taking Andrew Friedman classes in business management. Let DMAC cook. Give you a nice little let's go Dodgers. For that one, Max Kuhn, are we confident Dodgers fans? Hell yeah, we are. Let's go. And prayers for the Angelinos. Yeah, a major home run for that one. Love that comment right there. John Durr, Hall of Fame potential if he stays healthy, but he has never had a healthy year in Japan, and he's 23. See, that's a really good point right there. Has never pitched over 129 innings, has dealt with some shoulder fatigue. The velocity was down a little bit, the spin, the fastball shape. But having said all that, you can't deny the ceiling. Or you just can't deny the ceiling. You've heard some comparisons with Roger Clemens and Kevin Brown, guys like that. The power stuff is certainly there. Rosemary Rodriguez, sick of waiting, LMAO. Bruh. Big bruh on the waiting. Dino's 5150. If he doesn't choose the Dodgers, we really didn't need or want him. You don't beg someone to be a Dodger. It's a privilege. I like that. I like that. Give you a nice little charge for that one. Because, yeah, I mean, like Kobe Bryant said, I said this yesterday, you shouldn't have to convince someone to play for this organization. But at the end of the day, I mean, the players are what's really lead to winning. So as great as the organization is, as great as the facilities are and the coaches are, you win with players and you win with people. And it's the organization's right to kind of say, hey, I mean, you want to put on a good presentation, and they did that. Dino's 5150. Man, Dino's, man. Put this towards the international bonus pool money, probably. But the $9.99 Sasaki sauce. Appreciate that. Give you a comment of the show for that super chat. Thank you so much, Dino's 5150.
You win. Perfect.
And we got Ray Barrios. One can argue that Roki might want the competition versus the Dodgers. And I love that point, Ray, because that is something that rolls through my mind too, is that we just don't know the kind of... These guys are great because they have... Look, if these guys looked at the statistics of just getting into Major League Baseball, it'd be like, why even try, right? You have like a 1% chance, 2% chance. A very, very slim margin of people get to play in the show. Only think about how many years we've had Major League Baseball. There's been over 20,000, just over 20,000 players that have played Major League Baseball. It's a very small amount of people that get to play Major League Baseball. And the point I'm trying to make is you have to be delusional in a great way to get to this level and compete at the highest level. And maybe Roki thinks he's that guy. Says, yeah, you know what? Oh, cool. Shohei and Yoshi, they got a title. I'm going to win one down in San Diego, and we're going to get a good rivalry. It'd be great for the rivalry. I'll tell you that much for sure. Carmen Alexander, seems like Dodgers are a no-brainer. Martin Troop, can we never have enough pitching? Go get Sasaki and keep Jack Flaherty too. I think I saw a rumor that the Angels were in on Jack Flaherty. Noel, who's the guy? Where'd that come from, actually?
I don't know the exact source. I think it might have been someone on MLB Network, but yeah, the Angels are linked to giving him around $100 million. Yeah.
That feels very Angelsy.
Yeah.
That feels with the Angels. I love that deal for the Angels. I love that.
I mean,
deal.
He'll get to stay in LA. Angels will get to spend some money on a pitcher. So
yeah, for sure.
Could get interesting.
Keep that Arrow one smoothie going. I love that deal. Angels should totally sign with that price. I love that deal for you. Fabian Esparza, there's a Kobe picture with him in Celtics gear. How did that work out? 15 years from now, we're going to laugh at the video of Roki and Padres gear. I mean, that's what I said on yesterday's show. I mean, that's what came to mind when I saw him in the Padres gear, is that no, he's not. You're not taking a job with UPS. He's just throwing at a meeting, and there's Padres gear involved. And I'll never forget that nightmare fuel of Kobe Bryant wearing a Celtics t-shirt with green Celtics shorts and that workout. So yeah, exactly. But hey, players change teams, and that's definitely going to be an eyesore. But coming up next, we'll talk some more Roki later, guys. We'll switch gears though, because there's lots to get into here on this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. But coming up next, we are going to talk about Blake Snell owning a Giants fan on Instagram. And then also, Hyeseong Kim spoke to reporters in Korea. Has very interesting things to say about his decision to sign with LA. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. By the way, new year, new merch. Go to gearup.la to get the best Dodgers t-shirts in the game. Got a brand new Teoscar Hernandez t-shirt designed by a designer, really nice guy named Noel Sanchez. Awesome. You got the $1 million smile by Teoscar there. There's a really awesome shirt that celebrates Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam in Game 1 of the World Series. The Freddie Meet Gibby. Awesome t-shirt. You can still pick up the Kike Hernandez We Don't Give a F t-shirt. Hopefully that won't get a bump when he ultimately re-signs with the Dodgers, hopefully.
Buys the shirt, it increases the chances that Kike is going to resign.
Is that the case?
That's what I heard.
So here you go. If you guys, if you want Kike
That's
back,
what I
go
heard.
buy a t-shirt. Noel says, I think he sees the numbers and just the Dodgers see it and they kind of see what he means to the fan base. And I love that. But we also get the Dodgers. I really like this one, underrated t-shirt, the Dodgers Nation World Series trophy t-shirt. This one is really awesome too. So definitely go pick those up at gearup.la. Also want to give a shout out to our friend Hector.
That's right. Hector Garcia for these cool little stickers.
Look at these stickers. You guys know what it is. Let me go closer. But this is the Fox graphic for when the Dodgers were down 5-0. The bases loaded, top of the 5th inning. You had Garrett Cole pointing. Is Garrett Cole ever going to cover first base? It makes you wonder. But before we get into Hyeseong Kim, I definitely want to point this out. Do our DFA of the day. For our DFA of the day, it's about a fan of the San Francisco Giants that had an interesting comment on Blake Snell and his response. So here's our DFA of the day.
DFA of the day.
So our DFA of the day comes from Instagram. So Instagram, it's a great place. Connect with friends, family, stay up to date, do some scrolling. Well, a fan commented on a post about Blake Snell that said, yeah, we were following you when you were with the Giants, but sadly, you chose money over greatness.
Bruh.
And then Snellzilla, Blake Snell, he responded, go Dodgers with a blue heart emoji. Be upset with your team. Don't hate when you don't know anything other than where I signed.
Finish him.
I love that from Blake Snell. Blake Snell, a Dodger legend, going at and owning Giants fans before even pitching one game with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And to that fan, I say, wait a second. You really said that he chose money over greatness? How could a Giants fan think that signing with the Dodgers instead of signing with the Giants would be choosing money over greatness? He got the money and the greatness. That's what he did when he signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, what have the Giants done in the last 10 years? It's 2025, bro. Okay, this guy's stuck in 2014. So, I think this is a Dodgers team that they are gaining guys. They want the best of both worlds. They're going to pay you. Sure, we're going to defer some money in there, but you're also going to compete for championships. And I remember Blake Snell specifically saying that pitching in a packed stadium, pitching in front of Dodgers fans, and he's so excited. I mean, this dude is active. He's active on IG, constantly posting pictures and stories of him wearing a Dodgers uniform. So it's pretty awesome. He's like every other day, he's making posts about how excited he is to be pitching for this organization. And he just can't wait to put on that uniform and pitch for this team. So, hey, I mean, the Giants, you haven't done anything in a long time. Greatness. I mean, the last great year you had was when you won the division instead of the Dodgers back in 2021 in the Gabe Kapler era. So, look, I mean, we know about the Giants too. I mean, that Mickey Mouse ears promo and the Beat LA Hawaiian t-shirt. I mean, the Giants need the Dodgers right now. I mean, you couldn't even land Aaron Judge, couldn't get Ohtani. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. How about you just don't get how about you don't attack the athletes on Instagram in the comment section. We had Dodger Dog says Snellzilla 4, little fire heart emoji. I love that. Matt Ladder, I think Snelly is going to be a solid Dodger for us for a long time. But yeah, I mean, you gotta love that. I mean, Blake Snell really winning over Dodgers fans very quickly in his time in LA. Daniel Martinez, I feel we need more toughness like Blake Snell. I love that. Money over greatness. Yeah, look at those crying, laughing. I mean, it made no sense. I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm sure that Noel, he's been very active.
Active, super active. Like you said, all started when he shared the news that he was signing with the Dodgers with that nice jersey swap with really no context. And then a couple minutes later, we found out the news. But like you said, he's been posting jersey swaps, saying that he can't wait to pitch. Obviously, replying to the comments like me and you say, Doug, killing them with kindness is always the best. My favorite part of that comment is that he started with "Go Dodgers" and a little blue heart, kind of just teasing the fan. And also, I don't know if you saw, but the comment right above Blake Snell's, there was another guy. He owned the original comment. I forgot what he said, but everybody, when I posted it on our Instagram, everybody was tagging that guy saying like WW. So he said something funny. I think he just roasted the Giants too.
And I think, Antonio, that we're looking for a new bruh face. I feel like, don't you think that he's capable? Like, because remember the face he kind of made.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. Austin Barnes base hit.
Yes.
Right at World Series, just like, come on, bruh. I think he even said bruh.
He might have even said bruh. That's a great point.
I'm pretty sure he even said bruh.
So I think that's an early candidate. I mean, we'll keep Lux for now, but we're looking. If we get the perfect one, then we'll change that. We might keep them both. We have like a special edition one for like a super bruh. Yeah,
like that super bruh.
A super bruh for sure. But switching gears and talking about Hyeseong Kim. So Hyeseong Kim, one of the Dodgers signings this offseason, Dodgers signed him to a 3-year, $12.5 million contract on January 3rd, just hours before his 30-day negotiating period was set to end. Surprised a lot of people out there. He was linked to the Braves. The Angels had made him an offer. That was a team that he was strongly considering. He ends up with the Dodgers to the surprise of many. He also has a club option for 2 more years. That'll take his potential take-home money to $22 million. I mean, with the option years, incentives, he could make close to $30 million, could make almost $28 million in 5 years with the Dodgers. But Kim talked to reporters in Korea, and he had some interesting things to say. He told reporters that he's headed to the team's spring training site in Arizona, and he said the Dodgers are a great team, and I grew up watching them play quite a bit because of Korean players there. It will be an honor to make my major league debut with the club I watched on television. I want to make it happen as quickly as I can. My immediate goal is to make the opening day roster. So he did say that the Dodgers, of any of the teams out there, this is probably my biggest takeaway from what he told reporters, is the Dodgers prioritizing starting pitching, getting Blake Snell, prioritizing re-signing Teoscar Hernandez, going after Roki Sasaki. Even with all of those potential targets out there, the Dodgers were the first team to contact him. He said the Dodgers were the very first team to contact him and that he, quote, was so grateful for that. Those kinds of things mean something. They really, really do. The Dodgers are a first-class organization that even with all the other business that they were conducting, still say, you know what? We want Kim. We want him in LA. We're going to be the first to contact him. The other thing he talked about was the infield depth that the Dodgers do have. And they did trade away Gavin Lux. You still have, hopefully, Kike Hernandez back. Chris Taylor's still in the fold. Tommy Edman, center fielder for now. Miguel Rojas, Mookie Betts back in the infield. He's going to be at shortstop. But he said that the presence of all the Dodgers infield pieces did not preclude him from wanting to sign here. He said, it's not as though I won't have competition on a different team. Since this is my first year, I thought I would have a battle for my playing time no matter where I ended up. Ultimately, I decided I'd try to do that with the Dodgers. So big takeaway, my man's not afraid. My man's not afraid to come in and compete with some of the best players in the world, with the best organization in the world. I mean, we talked about Roki Sasaki and maybe wanting a softer landing in San Diego and potentially Toronto. Kim's like, bring it. Let's do it. I want to compete because I know I have to earn my spot on this roster. So I really, really love to hear that. And then he also talked about facing Jung-Hoo Lee with the Giants. He said, it's going to be fun facing Jung-Hoo. I've only done that in scrimmages. I will try to catch everything he hits. So I love that too. A little friendly, okay, back and forth with another Korean star that is with a rival team now. So I think that's really, really cool to kind of see him and his personality. I mean, we've DM'd with him a couple of times on Instagram, and he's someone that he said what did he say, Noel? He can't wait to meet us. Right?
Yeah, he can't wait to meet us in spring training, and he just a super good manners. Just grateful that we reached out, and he's really excited to be here. He's really excited to come down. I always see his Instagram stories. He's excited when he's on the planes and traveling out to Arizona. So I think he's going to fit right in. Like he said, he learned Japanese greetings because Ohtani would always greet him in Korean whenever they saw each other. So Ohtani's already rubbing off on him.
Exactly. And that's a major benefactor of that. It's like, hey, that's kind of one thing I was thinking too. If there was any doubt that Shohei Ohtani was going to be a big part of the recruiting process for Roki Sasaki, the fact that he was in on Kim, I mean, lets you know that he was definitely going to, for sure, be a part of that as well. So, I mean, there's no doubt about it that he was going to be a big part of that, and this is another example of that. Now, as far as, by the way, I want to give credit to my guy, Jiho Yu. He's going to be on the show at some point. I got a chance to hang out with him in Korea. He's a really, really good dude.
Hyeseong Kim revealed he's going to be wearing number 6 too.
That's right. He's going to be wearing number 6. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, you got Trey Turner who wore 6. Steve Garvey wore 6. I think 6 is a clean number. It's single digit. Steve Garvey, we'll see. I mean, at some point, will that be a retired number? Legends of Dodger baseball. I mean, Fernando got his. Steve Garvey. I mean, I had Mark Langell, Dodger team historian, on the show, and he says the best Dodger ever, right? I mean, also, hey, our guy Jerry Hairston Jr. wore number 6.
Holbert Cabrera
wears 6. Yeah, gotta love. That's a nice pull right there. Who else? Yeah, Trey Turner. You know who else? Hey, how about Vince Scully legend? Charlie Culberson also wore 6 as well. But yeah, when I think 6, I do think of Steve Garvey as far as the pitches. Carl Furillo also wore number 6 too. But for him to get 6, the single digits, they're not. I mean, you're not a rando. You know what I mean? Like,
was taken, so he took 6, and that he took it because Trey Turner's one of his favorite players, and he wants to play well in it, just like Trey did.
Yeah, and like honestly, he is very Trey Turner-ish on the base pass as far as the way that he utilizes his speed. He steals bases. I mean, last year he stole 30 bases, stole career high 46 and 21. He's stolen at least 20 bases in each of his 7+ seasons in the KBO. He's a great defender. We've broken him down in depth. I mean, I think the 2 things that stick out for me with him are he's going to have a higher floor just based on his defense and base running alone. So he has tools that can help. The number one question is, will the bat to ball translate to the show? I mean, last year he had a career high, he hit 326, had a 383 on base, 458 slug, hit 11 home runs, stole 30 bases, only struck out 10.9% of the time, 118 weighted runs created plus. Does he come close to that? Because your power number is going to go down. That's just inevitable. But I'm very intrigued by him. He's still young. Get him in the Dodgers system, see what they can do with him. So I really, really like that. And look, I mean, Gavin Lux is on another team. So he's a depth piece with a ton of upside, a late game defensive substitution, pinch runner. But what I was told with him is they didn't sign him not to play him, and that he's certainly going to have a role on this team. And hopefully it's him and Roki Sasaki transitioning this season. Now, we've got the 7th inning stretch, though, guys. So fire away all of your questions, all your thoughts, comments, and questions about your boys in blue. Fire away here in the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
We've got Dylan. Says people acting like the Dodgers don't have the richest Korean heritage in Major League Baseball. Of course, he wanted to come here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the history goes on for a long time. And in Hyunjin Ryu, remembers Hesop Choi. Remember Hesop Choi?
That's right. He was crucial for that Steve Finley walk-off grand slam. He got that clutch walk. I know you guys in the chat remember that. Oh, yeah.
I remember back in the day just watching a game and they were talking about like how much he ate like per day, and he consumed like 1 billion calories, and just like he was a big dude. Hesop Choi was that guy.
The seventh inning stretch.
Then we got Dancy has the location for Dodgers Fest been announced. Have they announced the?
Know that they had already said that it wasn't going to be at Dodger Stadium, obviously, but I think the decision or the announcement got delayed because of the fires. So I think
there
it's
you
still
go.
worked out. Yeah.
So we'll give you the latest when we get it. Vahila Sports Talk says, D-Mac, have you been to Dodger Stadium lately? Is it even close to ready? So I was there for Teoscar Hernandez reintroductory press conference a couple weeks ago. And yes, it doesn't look like it's close to being done right now. Of course, I mean, you had tons of construction working on the locker rooms, the clubhouses for the road and home teams. And we don't know when it's going to be done. We're going to try to get some more info on that, but it didn't look close when I saw it. But having said that, a lot of times you see construction like that, and then it looks like it's a mess. Then all of a sudden they figure things out. So who knows if the fires have impacted that? I'm sure that they have at least a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But they're going to have it ready, okay? And really, I think it hasn't been highly publicized just for the simple fact that they're not doing it for really fans. I mean, they're doing it for their players. So if it was about, we're adding these seats for this type of game experience, I think that they'd be advertising it a little more heavily, but that's not the case in this situation. We had Devon Henriquez will be better than Adam Scott. Okay, I like that. It's a nice take right there. Give you a little home run right there. Mike Saldana, it's a big gamble to trade Lux and play Kim. Hopefully it's a good move, Mike Saldana. Yeah, I mean, I still think highly of Lux, and I still think that in the right situation, he has the potential to be a guy that can hit 280 to 300, slug occasionally, and play above average second base. So if you do that for a full season, you're looking at a 3+ WAR season. Teams definitely would benefit from that. Will at Dodgers Nation. I was at the stadium last week for a trophy opportunity. It feels like it's going to be ready like mid-March. So there you go. Is that our guy, Will? Is that your guy, Will? Is that the man, Will? Shout out to Will, man. I got his top 50 players on my desk somewhere. Funga06, I hope Kim can hit at Major League Baseball pitching. Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, in the KBO, you're looking at guys throwing 89, 90, 91, not the high velocity pitching that you see here in the show. The ball is smaller. It doesn't carry the same. So you could break down his numbers from the KBO for 10 hours and it wouldn't mean that much. It just gives you an idea of the kind of player that he wants to be. And the kind of player that he wants to be is someone that hits for average, gets on base, hits an occasional home run, and is a great defender. And that's what is the ideal situation for him. Alex Renteria, Dodgers are hitting on all corners of the globe. Love that. Can give you a nice little comment to the show there.
You win. Perfect.
All right, guys. Now coming up on the walk-off, we've got spring training dates.
The walk-off.
So, guys, believe it or not, baseball is right around the corner. We are less than 40 days from spring training's first game. I think it's 36 days, 62 days from opening day. I mean, this thing is happening pretty quick here. And we just got the dates. The dates for spring training. And if you haven't been to spring training, I mean, it really is one of the most recommended things I can recommend. I mean, it's an absolute gem to go to Dodgers spring training to experience it firsthand. And the schedule as it is right now, the Dodgers pitchers and catchers, they're going to be reporting for spring training on February 10th. The first full workout is February 15th. Now, the Dodgers are going to be starting it earlier than most teams, and that is just because they open their season in Tokyo, Japan. The Dodgers' first regular season games will be on March 18th and 19th against the Chicago Cubs. So they are allowing them to start their spring training a little earlier, but it's not that much earlier. The Tampa Bay Rays, they are having their first workout earlier as well on the 11th. And then there's about 19 other teams, their first workouts on the 12th. So you got 8 teams that are starting on the 13th. The Dodgers there at February 10th. The first full workout, though, is the 15th. And then other big takeaway from this is now this date is in place, then we start to think about signings like Kike Hernandez and Clayton Kershaw, because when those guys are signed, you're going to want to have a better understanding of your roster numbers. And they still are hoping to get Roki Sasaki. You're still hoping to add another reliever potentially and a Tanner Scott. Well, once spring training starts, once pitchers and catchers report, then you can transfer players to that 60-day IL. Guys like Gavin Stone and Kyle Hurt, River Ryan, Emmett Sheehan, Brusdar Graterol, they're all going to be transferred to the 60-day IL. You might even see a situation where Clayton Kershaw goes right to the 60-day IL. That is most likely. Now, the very first Cactus League game comes on a Thursday, February 20th at Camelback Ranch against the Cubs, and it is going to be a shorter spring training this time around. Spring training, as far as the games go, the Dodgers will play 20 spring training games, and it'll be 20 games in 20 days, going from February 20th all the way through March 11th. So there you have it. Spring training, very, very close on the horizon. I love spring training. I think you go to the backfields, watch guys do their work. The games themselves, they're fun, but really it's about that intimate, close proximity to your favorite players. And that's done on the backfields. That is going in between, watching Shohei Ohtani take batting practice. And I think it's going to be the top storyline is Shohei Ohtani pitching and watching him throw. And how far along is he going to get with that? Watching Roki Sasaki hopefully throw. So there's going to be a lot of big storylines during spring training. If you're a Dodgers fan, I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of the best experiences if you're a baseball fan to get to see your team in that setting before all the madness of the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, Antonio, you're a big spring training guy?
Oh, 100%, dude. I love it. I actually have a great memory. My first autograph was Yasiel Puig back in 2013. And then Jerry Harrison Jr. signed the same ball right after. And then Matt Greer, if you remember him, relief pitcher for the Dodgers. But Mark McGwire was the hitting coach for the Dodgers. And, 1998 home run chase, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, that was my jam. And I was more Mark McGwire guy. And Mark McGwire just had his hands in his pocket. I'm just like, Big Mac. And literally, I had my glove. And he flings me a ball, and I catch it with my bare hand. And I look, I was like, "Holy crap!" And I look, Mark McGwire autograph. It's right next to my Tommy Lasorda ball.
That's unbelievable.
Such a great memory.
That's unbelievable. Yeah,
I haven't been there since.
Oh yeah, no, got some. I love that, man. You love to collect things, man.
Oh, I love Dodgers memorabilia, full show.
Yeah, no, it's good times. I mean, I got tons of spring training stories for sure that we'll get into as it gets closer. But that's gonna do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Subscribe to the channel. We want all your takes on all things Dodger baseball. We're gonna start responding to the comments, feature them on the show. Definitely be sure to do that. Shout out to super producer Antonio, Noel, John, rocking with us as always. And as soon as anything breaks, if we get any new information, look for a live show within minutes, because we will be going live as soon as we learn anything new about Roki Sasaki. But we got you caught up today. You know everything you need to know. So that is going to do it. But that's going to do it, guys. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.